right. Shalom, shalom, and shalom. It's good to see you back. All right. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, yeah. That's true. That's true. So, you know what? It is amazing that because I was explaining to you all about when he was talking about in Hosea. Let me see if I can pull that up out of here right quick. Let me see. It's just coming to me. I don't know if Hosea chapter 4 in verse 6. Okay, I got it. It's just something about knowledge. You know how it spoke of knowledge shall increase? Uh that knowledge falls under two as well, you guys. The knowledge goes in twos. One is a natural knowledge, and one is the spiritual knowledge. The only one that can come forth in the end days is the spiritual knowledge. I know you all might not have know that, but when he said knowledge shall increase in these last days, because the increase of knowledge is spiritual. We got enough of this worldly knowledge, y'all. Don't y'all think? How many different denominations? How many different beliefs? How many different religions? How many different interpretations? How many different everything? So we have a lot of knowledge in the flesh. So the only knowledge he could be speaking of is the only knowledge that he considered, which is spirit. Spiritual knowledge shall increase. So as Sister Deborah, and he be teaching me like he was teaching me today, I said, this is this knowledge you was talking about, ain't it? He said, yes, it's spiritual knowledge, Deborah. Now, don't think that I didn't know that, but when I'm communicating with him, he always give me feedback. Yep, you're right. So when I'm sitting here talking to you about, the knowledge being increased, when you wonder, well, okay, Deborah, 6,000, they didn't know what you're actually talking about today. You know why? Knowledge increasing as he has willed it to, and said that in that day, that this is where knowledge will be increased. But I'm gonna leave you a little token in Hosea chapter 4 and verse 6. He called my people are destroyed. Just as I try to explain to you all in Deuteronomy 28. My people are destroyed. And that was way in Hosea. Wait a minute, hold on, Father. Who is these people? But Deborah, they are destroyed. Wait a minute, Father, what are they destroyed for? Lack of knowledge. They didn't have knowledge then, and they ain't got knowledge now. You get what I'm saying? The knowledge was words being taught, but the knowledge now is spiritual. It's the one that counts. And it is what? Increase. Tell me that ain't a blessing inside of a blessing. For knowledge in the spirit to be increased. Why? What do we need it for, Father? Ain't you finna take us out of here? Ain't we getting up out of here? Look, Deborah. If Satan got all he is out here, should not have one or two? You sure right. Sure right. Because no one accepted the spiritual ones that's come down to speak with the power of the Father. They only want the fake ones and then try to categorize the real ones, the fake ones, to where it leads nobody to listen or look to the one that was sent by him. So they just call everyone that they don't accept or they don't believe or they don't understand, oh, that's the fake one. Because they fake too. The fake believe in the fake ones. That's why the fake one knows the fake ones. Because the fake ones ain't going to know the spiritual ones. He said the dark has nothing to do with the light. You get what I'm saying? He that's born of the flesh ain't got nothing to do with he that's born of the spirit. So that's why the fake ones can't say nothing about the real ones. Only thing they can say is that they fake because they are the real fake ones. You see? They can only identify and accept theirs that are fake like them. They can't accept you. You the wrong one. Okay, so when even listening to Hosea chapter 4 and verse 6, my people are destroyed. Wait a minute now, ain't Deuteronomy 28 saying the same thing? Father, y'all, wait a minute. Deuteronomy 28 saying the same thing. But what are these people destroyed? For a lack of knowledge. Knowledge then, they was lacking it. Knowledge now, same thing. And what did he say? Because thou hast rejected knowledge. You rejected knowledge then, and you rejected knowledge now. You see, you rejected the knowledge that you were given in the flesh, and you reject the knowledge that you are given in the spirit. 100. And this is why they're repeating the cycles over and over, as if you would think that 400 years, y'all, by now, since we are awakening, we think we got it going on, we should be awakened to something. So I don't know if you all remember me telling you, what are they awakened to? Stupidity. I used to say it all the time. Talking about they awakened. That's what I used to say all the time. What are they awakened to? Stupidity. Because they ain't awakened to no light. Because they're not speaking spirit and truth. So what are you awakened to? Somebody like me can say that. So there's a lot of things I said earlier before it started going downhill. I don't know what they're doing. And believe me, it's all them doing this. This is them. We don't have a storm or nothing going on. I don't know. But I will say, I know things that the Father has allowed the enemy to tamper with. And that's why. So see how the enemy, he can try to come through any and everything. But one thing he ain't going to come to. He that's greater in you. You see what I'm saying? He can come any corner in any way. But when it come down and coming up on you and in you or near you, he got to come through people, things. But he ain't going to come nowhere close in you. You see, because greater is he. And sometimes he's even scared to even come near you. Because I have had people come on and listen and they shoot out real quick. And I understand why. I understand why. Serpent try to get whoop out the way of that hill. I don't blame him. I do not blame him. So let's go to Romans chapter 8. We're in Romans chapter 8, and we're talking about the lies of the law. We got two laws we dealing with, you guys. And really, we ain't dealing with nothing but one, because that's the one that's greater in us than he that is in the world. The one in the world is not for those that's in the world. The law we in is what's in us, okay? He greater in us. Even though he's in us, and that's the law in itself, his law. But guess what? Poor them bad boys, he created the both. One for the flesh and one for the spirit. So when you're in these Christian churches, you hear them say, we're not under that law. You know why? Trying to get out the way of that fleshly law. See, that's what they trying. They got sense enough to know that, no, that's the flesh law, y'all. That's the flesh law. That's the flesh law. We're not under that no more. And honestly, you only under that when you're not under the main law. But you under a law. Now get me right now. You are under a law. You just which one you're under. Let's go to Romans chapter 8. Romans chapter 8. Now watch this here. We talking about the lies that was told. And like I was saying earlier, I was confused with, is it that they lying or is it they simply don't know? But as the prophet was saying, she was saying, the prophetess was saying the same thing, that if the strong delusion on them, it still is just rest in a lie because they still believe in a lie. Then the truth, you know. Now watch this here. In Romans chapter 8 and verse 1. We're going to do 1 and 4. Just listen to this here, you guys. Let's go there. In Romans chapter 8. There is therefore now no. And this is a sad thing right here, y'all. Listen to this. There is therefore no condemnation to them which are in Christ. Notice it saying the power, Yeshua. The power, Yeshua. You see? Because the power got to be first in this here. You see? The power can be the only one that take us out of condemnation, you guys. Yeshua can't take us out of there. So he's trying to let you know the power first, y'all. You see what he said? That's why I say in Christ, Yeshua, who walk not after the flesh, but after the spirit. See, he didn't separate the flesh from the spirit. What is he telling you all? There's no condemnation to them which are in the power of Hamashiach, who walk after not the flesh, but after the spirit. No condemnation for us, y'all. Now watch this here. For the law of the spirit. And this is sad, y'all. It is so sad. It is so sad. It's sad because it makes me remember what he says, Deborah. The narrow gate. You know, it ain't going to be number few finding, right? I said, yeah, but Paul, this like is very, very, very few. It's a sad thing, y'all. Because listen to this. Verse 2. Romans chapter 8, verse 2. For the law of the spirit of life, hallelujah, is in Christ, Yeshua. You see how he pulling up? In Christ, Yeshua. He letting you know he putting connecting spirit and life in Christ. He putting the Father's life in Christ. And then he says Yeshua. Why? Because Yeshua is also added into oneness of all of us. We are in oneness. Now watch what he said, which was the blood. Okay. Have made me free from the law of sin and death. You see what I'm saying, you guys? I believe the serpent better slide on off this page because Sister Deborah going to cut up from the floor up tonight. You see what I'm saying? Now, right there, let's go over it again. For the law of the spirit of life. Law of the spirit of life. Who gave us life? The Father. What life was that? The breath of life. The law of the spirit of life in the power of Hamashiach, which is Yeshua. Not Hamashiach, Yeshua. Was it your choice? No, has made me free from the law of sin and death. You see what I'm saying, y'all? So the law that he's telling you about is the law that oversucceeds the law that they're talking about up in Torah. You see what I'm saying? They ain't gonna teach that thing, y'all. You see, prophetess, what in that message me you were talking about earlier, that strong delusion is something else. Because right there, it's letting you know, just straight up from the floor up, that those that are under this law of the spirit of life, by the power where Yeshua is in, what does he say? Has made me free from the law of sin and death. You see what I'm saying? This is what it does, y'all. Now, who is he talking about? He that is born of the Spirit. So you see how they telling you got to keep the law, you got to keep the commandment. What did Sister Deborah keep telling y'all 2-3 years ago? These people are hitting y'all with an iron fist, an iron claw. The law, the commandments. Wait a minute. Those are for you. Those that are in the Spirit. We got another law sitting up in us. It succeeds the law that you all trying to get the flesh to keep under control. They can't be done, y'all. Nobody can keep the law up under the flesh. It can be only kept under the spirit of he that holds life and power to uphold it all in you. That's why I say I can't give myself no nothing. When I get ready to say my prayers, I tell him, I let him know out of this nasty flesh, I can't do nothing without you. And when it's you, it's you. It ain't got nothing to do with me. Letting him know that this flesh ain't got nothing about it. So what does it say in verse 3? For what the law could not do, in that it was weak to the flesh. What law was that, y'all? What law was that? What law was that? Wasn't that other law we were talking about? There's 2 laws, y'all. Always been. And when I got on here, I couldn't understand why are they debating with the Christians, talking about the Christians said they're not under the law. Wait a minute, we're not. It's a different kind of law. Always knew that. But today, when he was dealing with me, he broke that thing down and I learned so much. I learned so much. But guess how I learned it? He took what he taught me in the old and he brought it all the way up to today. Meaning he wanted me to see it was already in me. He had already invested in me throughout my life. And all that time, I took it at face value from the Ruach, not from man. And he is the only one can stand on top of what he done already gave you. How about that? How about that? Nobody else can. Only the Father himself can come up and, how about this one, Deborah? Take this, take this. You see? So right here in 3, it says, for what the law could not do. Wait a minute. Hold on. What law is that, Father? Y'all? Wait a minute. What are they talking about? What are they talking about? For what the law could not do, in that it was weak through the flesh. Yah sent his own son in the likeness of a sinful flesh. And for sin, condemned sin in the what? Flesh. See, that's what people never understood. Yeshua was working on the flesh of who you were. Yeshua is the Son of Man. He was the mission for your flesh. He laid his life down for your nasty flesh. It had now. I'm gonna tell you one thing though: the Son of Man couldn't have laid his life down for our flesh, because listen to what I'm finna say. Ooh, praise the mighty God. Praise the mighty God. Yeshua came to lay his life down for you and I, sins in our flesh. The Son of Man did that. He come to die for the sin of all mankind in our flesh. But there's another one that come to die. Oh, praise the mighty Yah, to raise you up and redeem your spirit. Praise the mighty Yah. That was the Son of Man. Not the Son of Man. That was the Son of Yah. So the Son of Man came for your sin in your flesh. And the Son of Man came to redeem you back in the spirit. Both laid life down. One laid down, one picked it up. Praise the mighty Yah. Which one picked it up? The Son of Yah. Son of Man laid it down, and the Son of Yah picked it up with all power to the will of my Father. How you like him now? Now, what does he say? For what the law could not do, in that it was weak through the flesh. So what is it telling you? Back in Torah, there's a lie from the pit of hell. That's why they try to take y'all back in Torah. That's why they want to keep y'all in Torah, y'all. Torah is good to read and study under the Ruach. Under the Ruach. Not under the flesh of Deborah, man, woman, nobody. But under the Ruach do you enter in. Now watch what it says here. Romans chapter 8, verse 3. For what the law could not do, in that it was weak through the flesh. When was that, y'all? Wasn't that back in the old? Y'all see what I'm saying? See, they want to make us think that the old was all this and that. Use a lie. All the sin took place then. All the homosexual, everything that's wicked and evil took place back in the old, y'all. Y'all didn't even know that, did you? Oh, yeah, he had handpicked his. One here, one here, one here. But count them up. And then count all the people that was back from the beginning to the end. It'll blow your mind. More people that have ever existed on the face of the earth. From the beginning to the end. But what side was they on? The serpent seed. He handpicked his out. So listen to what this is saying. For what the law could not do. Wait a minute. Wasn't that law they talking about up in the old? He said here saying that law couldn't hold this flesh. You see? in that it was weak through the flesh. The law was weak through the flesh. Now watch this here. Yah sent his own son in the likeness of the sinful flesh, and for sin, condemn sin in the flesh. You see what I'm saying? In the flesh. Why? Because it's finna come in with a new law. You see? Oh, I didn't come for to change the law nor the prophet. No, he didn't. He came to fulfill the Father's will from the beginning. You know what that fulfill was? You remember when he said in the Garden of Eden, he created Adam. And he said, it's not good that man shall be alone. I'm going to make him a helpmeet. You know what they're supposed to help meet? The will of the Father. You see what I'm saying? So Yeshua came to fulfill that was not met after Adam. When Adam had sinned, he didn't fulfill the righteous will of the Father. You see? I'm Yeshua. He's on the scene. I'm coming to fulfill. They didn't understand that. What do you mean? What do you mean, Yeshua? What you want me to tell him? Deborah, tell him I come to fulfill righteousness. I come to fulfill faith and fear. I come to fulfill belief. That's the law. It's in you. All right. So it says in verse 4, for righteousness, oh, there we go. Verse 4, that the righteousness of the law, that's Yah's law, Yah. You see, you can't take that law and make it the law they talking about. You cannot take Torah back in the old law and combine it and say it's just the law of today. Not today, of the new. This is not the same law, y'all. These are two different laws pulled up. One is the law of the flesh and one is the law of the spirit. And which one are you? So here goes Romans chapter 8 and verse 4. That the righteousness of the law might be fulfilled where? In us. So y'all ain't looking for the law to be on the outside of us. He looking for it to be first and foremost in us. Where at in us? Where he abide. He don't abide in your flesh. He abide in your spirit. So he letting you know you got something that I can come in and abide in. And if I come in, I'm all righteous. I'm all faith. I'm all belief. I'm all power. I'm all law. You see, this is the ignorance of the Hebrew Israelites. That's why I told y'all 3 years ago, they gone. They've been gone. They've been gone. See, y'all be thinking Sister Deborah just telling y'all, no, they've been gone. Okay, now watch this here. Romans chapter 8, verse 4. That the righteousness of the law might be fulfilled in us. Did you hear what it says, y'all? In you. Not on the outside of you. So why are they trying to tame your head? Why are they trying to tame your look? Because they didn't understand you got a law on the inside of you, and if it don't like your looks, it's going to tail out on the outside. That's what y'all don't never let him do. Y'all want to train yourself to look the way the world say look. The one that's out here telling me they are the law. The law is on the outside. No, the law is on the inside of me, and it tames me from the inside out. It convicts me from the inside out. It cleans me up from the inside out. It chastises me from the inside. It disciplines me from the inside. I don't need the outside to tell me what I can and cannot wear, because he that is greater than anything on the outside comes to discipline me from the inside out. And if it's not bothering him from the inside, what Sister Deborah wearing, eating, looking like, look, I ain't letting the world with their law tame me. The doctor said, okay, you got arthritis. Here's 4 different medication. That's the world. But what do y'all say? He is greater than the world. We don't look at that like that. What do y'all say? I heard this sister this morning. I kind of feel sad for her because she's really, I'm telling y'all, when these people come up from under these cults, when you have been in a cult and people who have been in these Hebrew Israelite movements for so long, they don't have no sense coming out. They just, you can't tell. I mean, they don't have no sense. This lady still ain't got no more sense than she had when she came out. When you drop as an apple from the tree, of a rotten mouth man, let me tell you, you're never the same. You are never the same. You are never the same. And this lady's still hooping and hollering. And I think she's probably been out probably 4 or 5 years, but she's still hooping and hollering about the bad tree. Baby, that bad tree ain't gonna get right for you. And no matter what you say, you see? And she still ain't. And I can see that I was getting ready to tell you something she said, but I got off of it. Let me get off of that. So in verse 4, Romans chapter 8 and verse 4, listen to what it said. That the righteousness of the law might be fulfilled in you. Now, who is this righteousness? And who is this law? Y'all, that's the spiritual law that is within. It's not the same law on the outside that man is following. Okay? Now watch this here. Then it says, who walk not after the flesh, but after the spirit. See that? That's a law. Righteousness is one of the laws. It's in you. It know how to get you right. And if it don't get you right, then he ain't in you. He knows what he doing, y'all. He deals with you from the inside out. And if he don't deal with your outer man and he's living on the inner you, he don't see it's nothing worth even trying to correct on the outside. Because he's a disciplining father. He's a chastising father. He's a correction, father of correction. So if it ain't bothering him, why is it bothering you in the world? Because you don't want people to look at you and say, oh, that person got on this and that person. That's that mindset, y'all. I wouldn't want to be rumbling no way outside of the way the one that is within me. Okay? But listen to what he says. Who walk not after the flesh, but after the spirit. So you are not under the law that is of Yah. If you are the law of the flesh of the world. There's 2 laws. And I ain't talking about the law that the court and the law that the court and the judge, that's law in the flesh as well. It's to tame those that's under that law. But when the law of the Father is in you, that's righteous, y'all. Come on now. See, that's why we don't want to give him the glory on that. We won't give him the praise. We won't recognize that is a law in itself. Or it got faith with it too. It's got a lot of things with it that the law of the world don't have, meaning the law of the flesh don't have. Okay? Now listen to this. This is 4, and I'm going to say it one more time. That the righteous of the law, that righteousness of the law might be fulfilled in you, who walk not after the flesh, but after the spirit. In you, y'all. In you. Who on this earth can tell you about this law of righteousness in you? Name one. They won't teach it. They won't preach it. They won't reveal it. They won't, because they don't have the truth in them. This is like the fruit. I tell y'all, when he say try spirit by the spirit, it's a lot of things you can say that they don't understand because they don't have the fruit of the spirit. They don't understand stuff like this. You see what I'm saying? So I'm giving you one of my little secrets here. Now watch verse 5 says, Romans chapter 8 and verse 5, for they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh. That's that law. But they that are after the spirit, the things of the spirit. Okay? Now, I want you to listen to this here. Listen to verse 6. For to be carnal minded is death. That means the flesh. To be carnal minded is death. But to be spiritual minded is life and peace. You see, we have gotten caught up in this religion, in different cults, in different beliefs, in different denominations, in different nations, in white and black, and we have forsaken any direction that leads to the Creator himself. And that's a sad thing for me. That's a very sad thing for me. So I want to go now. I want you to also go back to, wait a minute, go. I don't know if y'all paid any attention to this. In Romans chapter 8 and verse 2, I want you to look down and give me a thumbs up if you see the law of sin and death. Anybody in the live chat, if you see in Romans chapter 8, verse 2, where it says the law of sin and death, give me a thumbs up, because that's showing you that's a law. That's a law. Shalom, shalom. That is a law of sin and death. If you see that in Romans chapter 8 and verse 2, it's telling you about the law of the spirit. And then at the end, it says the law of the of sin and death. Okay, that's good enough. Thank you. Because let me ask you something. Aren't they talking about two laws? When you look at Romans chapter 8 and verse 2, is this prophetess, do you see two laws, or is you seeing one? I don't know if everybody have their Bibles or not. Let me go over it again. Romans chapter 8, verse 2. For the law of the spirit of life is Christ Yeshua has made me free from the law of sin and death. So is it two or one? How many laws is found in verse 2? Anybody? I just want to make sure I'm just not talking to myself. It's two laws. Thanks. Guys, I'm like saying, wait a minute now. I'm sitting here looking at two laws, and this what this whole topic is going to be about. It's two. Right. It's two laws. You see how we have been confused, all this letting flesh of men lead us. We're going to always be confused. Whether it's woman or man, if they are born of the flesh and we got them leading us, they're going to lead us straight to the broad gate. Now, this is what's going to, I want you to stay on Romans chapter 8. Stay on Romans chapter 8 and go to verse 7 and 8. Romans chapter 8, verse 7 and 8. Now, here we go, y'all. Here we go. Because the carnal mind is enmity against Yah. So enmity means what? What do enmity means? Did not you all see that in Genesis chapter 3, verse 15? Enmity in Genesis chapter 3 and 15. What do enmity means? Romans chapter 8, verse 7 and 8. Because the carnal mind is enmity against Yah. What do enmity mean? Hate. There you go. You see that? So why is he talking about the carnal mind? Why is he talking about the carnal mind? He's talking about what part? When he say carnal, he's talking about what part? Verse 7. Yeah, that hate is for it. He's talking about the flesh. Exactly. So you see, he's still wanting us to understand what Sister Deborah was talking about in Romans chapter 8, verse 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we drop down to verse 7, and it says, because the carnal mind is enmity against Yah. Do y'all see how our flesh is an enemy toward Yah? Do y'all understand that? It is an enemy. It is a enemy. It hates Yah. Okay? For it is not subject to the law of Yah. Do y'all understand that? You see that? He said that it is not even subject. It don't have to follow Yah's law. You mean to tell me, Father, they don't? No, Deborah. The carnal mind he's speaking of that's in the flesh. They're not even subject. They hate Yah. They're not even, in a sense, he said, I ain't expecting them to be nowhere near my side. When he said his side, anything that he's called to eternal life. So he's saying here the law of Yah. Now, right there again, neither indeed can be. So wait a minute. So he letting you know the flesh that has a carnal mind is really against Yah. For it is not subject to the law of Yah. Y'all don't understand. Y'all got a law. That law, the main one on that list of that law is righteous. That's the main one. So if a carnal mind is enemy against our Creator, for it is not subject even to its law. Why? Because its law is a spiritual law. That's the law we got in us, y'all. That's that law he don't want us to have that man tame. That's why I try to tell y'all, don't let these people control y'all. You got a greater law in you than they got on the outside. Their law can't touch your law in you. We got no business letting them come anywhere near the law that rests therein. It's telling you that there's two laws, y'all. Now then he said in verse 8, and not only does he tell you, and neither indeed can be. Never, ever, ever would a carnal mind ever have anything to do with the law of my Yah. So y'all go on and chase all these people on this devil platform. Have yourself a Wayne Dane Doodle time. Verse 8. So then they that are in the flesh cannot please y'all. So you can't get on this devil platform and think that everybody that's speaking a little truth and they pleasing y'all. No, they're not. The Spirit ever anybody that's going in this book and they mastering this kingdom and they bringing out prophecies in the way that they're prophesying. They're trying to prophesy that which has already been prophesied. I said, I would have never thought of that. He said a lot of prophets and prophetess are doing that. He said they're studying this King James Bible. Listen to what I'm saying, y'all. Hear me well. He said they're studying this King James Bible. And they studying the prophecies that were spoken in that day or in that day. And he said they studying it and bringing it forth as a new prophecy that Yah has given them. I said, but why would they do that? They false, Deborah. YouTube and all these platforms have given them so much glory in their make-believe prophecies that Yah is speaking to them and telling them this. But if all you have to do is see that they're reading and studying day and night the prophecies of the Most High Yah that has already been appointed, anointed, and assigned to this day. And they coming up and saying, Yah is going to destroy this. He said he's going to do this. He said he's going to do. No, baby. You reading the prophecies all over again. Pull up with something. Pull up with that word behind your prophecies. They ain't going to find it. See, that's what they didn't know. That behind the word, behind the true prophecies is the word. See, the word ain't going to go into this Bible. Let me show you an example. You know how I told y'all, I don't know. I don't have the sense. I ain't going to say that in the spirit realm because I do have the sense there. I can go into one verse and can't come out. Remember me telling you all that? The reason why I can't come out of one verse is because I keep seeing too much in one verse. See, I can't just go into this one verse and just pull in and pull out. Give them what it says and pull out. I can't because it's too much embedded in there in the spirit realm. So I can't just pull out. So I just told people I wasn't a teacher. People said, well, where do you go, baby? I want to go to the church you go to. I said, I don't go to them. That's what I tell them. See, and I don't know how to just go in and pull out. I really don't. So that is what you will call someone that is a true prophet. Because when Yah is wanting you to tell the prophecy of his will already, he ain't coming telling you to mimic him, mimic the prophecy words in this book and then shoot them out as if he just gave you a new revelation that this is going to happen. This is going to stop. Because what do? They take away from his power and his glory, and they make it theirs. Stop it. He's been telling me that for the last 3 days. He said, Deborah, they go in, they grab his prophecy, they master it, they go in to do the study so they can bring it back, shoot it back to you. That y'all say this is going to happen. No, that's not how he does it. Then they get the glory. Y'all didn't know that, did y'all? I know a lot of y'all didn't know that's how they doing it. Those are not true prophets. Those are not. First and foremost, y'all ain't going to give you the prophecies that is written, clearly seen, and then just have you to resay them in this day and time as if he's giving you a private prophecy. No, he didn't. It was already present. What he wants you to do is what I always ask y'all to do. Climb on top of Deborah. That's what I want to see. I want to see you on top of Deborah, not sitting with Deborah or under Deborah. Climb on top of her head, because that's what I do when I have to go into these words. I have to hear the Ruach teach me on top of what is in this book. That's why I can't get this book and tell y'all this book is the word. When I know the word, when it comes, it's coming on top of this book. So that's what I'm saying. So here in Romans chapter 8 and verse 8. So then they that are in the flesh cannot please Yah. So these people are what you see on these platforms. They're in the flesh. And they are gaining the likes and the subscriber. I don't know who that lady was. I think it was Roxanne, somebody. But she gave me such a blessing, y'all, 3 days ago, and I had no idea. I was just on my phone, and I said, what is this? A hearty blessing I sent to you, baby. Thank you so much. See, stuff like that just does something to me, and y'all know it does. He know it does. Because when I saw that, I was like, what? Oh, I like this. Thank you, Father, Yah, first and foremost. Because he puts that on one's heart to do it that way. See, when Yah do something, he's going to do it out of the unusual, where you know that it ain't going to even be as if it's something great, but it's just ideal. It's just coming out of nowhere. This individual you don't even know and feel the need to bless you like that. Let's go on, y'all. So then they that are in verse 8, they that are in the flesh cannot please Yah. So now, y'all, this is what we're going to do. We're going to wrap this thing in and out regarding the law. Now, we're finna get into it. Now, watch this here. Then when I get to 1 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 14. When I get into 1 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 14, it reads, but the natural man receiveth not the things of the spirit. Do y'all see that? Of Yah. Let me say that again. But the natural man receiveth not the things of the spirit of Yah. So what are you saying, Deborah? They don't have the spiritual law, y'all. That's what Sister Deborah trying to say. They do not have the spiritual law. Thank you for posting these chapters and verses, sister. I appreciate that. They don't have the things of the spirit of Yah. And that's something I almost cry about, because these are the people who's on all these devil platforms teaching and preaching. But the natural man, we in 1 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 14, but the natural man receiveth not the things of the spirit of Yah, the spirit of Yah, the spirit of Yah. To receive the law of the spirit, you have to be of the spirit of Yah. So who is this natural man? Flesh. He got the law of the flesh. That's why he can beat you across your head with the commandments and the law. And when I found out what the commandments and the law was, the Father had to teach me what that was. He said, Deborah, you sitting here hooping and hollering. that these people are beating people across the head with the iron claw called commandments and law. He said, but Deborah, let me tell you what commandments and law is. It's simply instructions and directions. That's it. Just what he gave Adam in the garden. Instructions, directions, and also consequence. A consequence. That's all. He gave that man one instruction, one direction, and one consequence. Just one. Did Adam keep it? So how do these men today think that they can keep 12, 600, or anything? They want you to think that all these laws, if you don't keep it, you doomed to hell. Baby, let me tell you that all that is a lie. They heading to hell and don't know it. Those laws can't override the spiritual law. And the spiritual law rests in belief. The fear is spiritual. The faith is spiritual. And we're going to see that. I'm trying to tell you, this is the law. Remember I told y'all, what did I tell y'all? It's his brand. Didn't I tell y'all? Those are the 4 brands of the Most High. Righteous, belief, faith, and fear. Those same brands are also in the flesh. They have belief. They have faith. They have fear. You see what I'm saying? And they have their own flesh righteousness. That's what I was trying to tell you. So the one that's in the spirit is totally different than the one that's in the flesh. The one that's in the flesh is leads to sin and death. The one that's in the spirit leads to life. You see what I'm saying? So this, what it does is put the power back in the right hand of the Father. See, that's all it's about, y'all, is putting that power where it belongs and not out of the mouth and the hands of us as flesh. Where we get it, I don't know. Why we feel we got the power, we the power. No, you ain't. You never be in the power. You ain't been nothing but dirt from the ground. Get somewhere and sit down. Okay. Now, when I go to 1 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 14, it says, but the natural man receiveth not the things of the spirit. So we talking about the flesh. For or foolishness unto him. Woo. Neither can he know them because they are spiritually discerned. Y'all ain't even paying no attention to it, but we do. That's why I tell y'all, you really have to be able to separate yourself from he that is born of the flesh and he that is born of the spirit. They have nothing in common. And that's the way heaven's designed it, y'all. That's the way heaven's created it. And when we go out of the order in which he has created, we ask for what we get. That's why I feel really sad for a lot of these women going on this here dating site and don't even understand, baby, you never go to mess with anybody behind the door. Meet somebody in front of the door. You don't meet them behind the door. You would never want to come in your house and you pull your door open and there's somebody else you never seen before. So why are you on this dating site trying to talk to somebody behind the door? You meet somebody, meet them in front of the door, not behind it. These dating sites are behind the door. This is conniving, darkness, Satan. And a lot of these women are losing their lives. Big time. Big time. All in the name of thinking there's a feeling in them for somebody that's hiding behind the door. The reason why men get on these dating sites, because they want to meet somebody who ain't going to never know really who they are in front of the door. They get adrenaline and power behind the door to deceive and trick you to believe that there's someone. And they said if you that hard up and seeking for somebody behind the door that you don't know, they're playing the game with you. And you don't know where the devil takes them. Yeah, I'm telling you, them dating sites is set up from the floor by Satan himself. Many people, y'all don't know it because the news don't cover it all, but many people losing their life that way. And that's why a lot of people ain't hearing from on the news and ain't hearing this because they just got so many people they're finding and women. A lot of times they do find out they was somebody they met online. Why wouldn't they stop this here dating site? Did they stop the migrants from coming over? No, they planned it that way. They want everything to go in the way of darkness. And now it's not dark, it's pitch black. That means worst of the worst. So here it's in 1 Corinthians in chapter 2 and verse 14. There it goes. It's actually talking about two. It's talking about two, the natural and the spirit. And letting you know the things that of the spirit of Yah cannot be used by he that is the natural man, which is the flesh man. Okay. They are, because they are spiritually discerned. What is spiritually discerned? The things of the spirit is spiritually discerned, y'all. And I'm going to tell y'all something while y'all in the live chat. That's some real stuff there, y'all. That's some real, I know y'all probably didn't grip what it says, but it carried a lot of power. Because listen to what it's here. 1 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 14. But the natural man receive not the things of the spirit of Yah. So they don't even receive it. But watch this here. For they are foolishness unto him. So y'all look at them as foolishness. Y'all look at them as foolishness. Y'all look at them as foolishness. So what if you're on a dating site and you met somebody, you've been on here for three months. You're learning who they are behind the door, baby. You don't know that person from a rat's behind in front of the door. I mean, them being behind the door. When you meet somebody, they right before you, you still don't know nothing. But I would rather meet somebody face to face than to meet somebody way behind a door. And I'm talking to them, the door right here. Oh, yeah. I like this. I like this. I do this. My name, my number is this. You're talking to somebody behind the door. That's dangerous. So listen to what 1 Corinthians 2 and 14 says. For they are foolishness unto Yah. To him, to Yah, the natural man, is foolishness unto Yah. Watch this here. No, wait a minute. For they are foolishness unto him. Neither can he know them because they are spiritually discerned. Oh, so he thinks the things that are spirit, flesh thinks the things that are spirit are foolishness. Flesh thinks that the things that are spirit of Yah are foolishness. Neither can he know them, the things that are spiritual, because they are spiritually discerned. So that's showing you the difference between y'all. Everything that the Father have created in twos, y'all, they're not supposed to have anything in common. It's not supposed to have anything in common. And what happened in Genesis chapter 6? It was everything they had in common when he ended the world. But one thing that wasn't in common with them was the Son of Yah. And they let go and let loose and got common in what they were doing. And that's why he had to end it. Because those were the sons of Yah sent from the heaven to do the work of Yah. They got tied up with the men and their daughters, which were serpent seeds. No one never recognized it. No one never preached it nor taught it, nor do they know in the spirit realm. But he said they're not supposed to, Deborah, because they are spiritual discerned. So it was the men that was multiplying in Genesis 6 and their daughters, which were the serpent seeds. That's what they were. That's why it was about the sons of Yah had children by the daughters of men. That means serpent seed and spiritual seed are connected. Oh, Deborah, I got to shut this thing down. I got to close this party down. And he closed the whole thing. Out of his wrath, he ended all. He knew he sent the sons of man, sons of Yah down. You see, that's why the world, and you can tell who's the world. I can, y'all can. And that's what it says here. These things are spiritual discerned. When I say y'all, you have to be in the spiritual realm with Yah to be able to discern these things. You see what I'm saying? That's why a lot of people thinking they can try the spirit by the spirit. They know this, they know this. Oh, I got the spirit of truth. No, baby. This thing is real. This ain't no play. You either got it or you don't. You can't fake it until you think you're going to make it, but it's going to run up on you on one day. You're going to come through the alley and realize I didn't have it. I thought I did, but I must not have, you see? So now we're going to go into Acts, the book of Acts, chapter 13, verse 39. The book of Acts, chapter 13, verse 39. Y'all don't know how it does bother me in the flesh. And let me ask y'all, let me see what you all would say. Okay. If I said to you, I am long suffering. If I said to you all, I am long suffering, people would think long suffering means a sickness, struggling finances, or single and looking for a husband, everything that's detached to the flesh. But long suffering for Sister Deborah in the spirit is like unto Yeshua taking his 30-something years to come here to be perfect and to leave out. Here's Sister Deborah still here. I understand Yeshua's long suffering. I too long suffer. Long suffering is when you have come to a place within. It ain't got to do with you on the outside. That he has taught you righteousness, belief, faith, and fear. He taught you what hope, peace, joy. He taught you all these things, but now you got to live in a world that cannot see none of it. That's long suffering. Long suffering is a suffer in the spirit. Okay, I want y'all to know that. Many people don't know that. Long suffering is the fruit of the spirit. It's a suffering you have in the spirit. And that's why you all don't understand why sometimes I just close it out, leave, and don't come back, then come back later, because I suffer in the spirit realm. Because so bad do you want everything you say and to be manifested. And I want people to take it, eat it, sit down with y'all, say, what is this old hen saying? Teach me what you need, what I need to know, and climb on top. Me in the natural is a track runner. I run the 440 and the 220 relay. So therefore, I have to pass the baton. So I know the mission of passing the baton. I don't have no problem with that. But I love to know that I ain't the only one in the race. Does that make sense? And to just know that you in the race, what did that mean? I'm long suffering. As Yeshua was. Yeshua talked to the 12. All that time they were with him. Did y'all know they didn't even believe him? They didn't believe him. They didn't believe a word he was saying. Y'all didn't know that. All you have to do is go back in and let the Ruach show you where the scriptures are at that speaks on them not really knowing him and who he was. They just trust him at his word based on what? What they saw him do. There's a difference in believing on what you see versus believing on what you do not see. They didn't believe on who he was, what they could not see, but they believed on what they saw him do. That's the belief they had in him. Outside of that, they had no belief in him. You see what I'm saying? So when that roar of the Creator came and implant himself in them, and it keyed everything they needed in them to go back to remember everything he had taught them, to share it with the people. That's endurance. It's when Yeshua had to walk with these people that he said, what did he say? Father, all that thou hast given me, I have not lost one. Everything that you wanted me to give them, I have given unto them. See, he was justified, clarifying, and identifying. He had fulfilled the mission. See, y'all thought he was saying, I didn't come here for the prophets and the law. No, no, no. He said, I come to fulfill your will and your will only. See, a lot of people don't understand that. He's talking about the spiritual will, y'all. He come to fulfill the spiritual will. When y'all want to run up on me with the law and the prophet, that's flesh. That's flesh. That's flesh. You want to run up on me with the law and the prophet, that's flesh. That's flesh. I'm pulling up with all the heavens coming down to the earth. You see? To what? To fulfill my Father's will. See, that's what a lot of people didn't know. Even to today. His mission wasn't to fulfill the flesh and get caught up in their law and what the prophet said. No, no, no. I come down to be the blood sacrifice. And with me is the kingdom of heaven. That's who with me. And I kept telling them that, Deborah. And I saw that and I was like, that's sad, though, Yeshua. You brought the kingdom down and they didn't even see the kingdom. They never saw the kingdom. But the good thing out of what he did is he fulfilled his purpose of the will of my Father that was from heaven. That's the good thing about it. So here we are. Let's go to Acts chapter 13 and verse 39. And by him, all that believed are justified from all things from which ye could not be justified by the law of Moses. Y'all see that? You know what y'all saying to you all? Y'all got to understand the law of the Spirit. And by him, all that believe are justified from all things. You already been justified, y'all. You don't need nobody to justify. You don't need to justify nothing to nobody. And you don't need to clarify. And you don't need to identify nothing. Y'all said you are justified from all things from which ye could not be justified by the law of who? Moses. Don't y'all hear about the time of Moses did? That's all you hear the Hebrew Israelite. But Moses said this, and Moses this, the Moses law, the Moses song, the Moses this, the Moses that. Baby, there's a new law in town, and you missed it. Y'all need to read Acts 13 and 39. He's sitting here separating his spiritual law from Moses' law, y'all. This is what the Christians were talking about. We're not under that law you're talking about, bro. That's the law of Torah, and back in the old, we couldn't even keep it. We couldn't even abide by it. We couldn't, listen to this, y'all. Okay, let's say, Deborah, back in that day, if you sin, take 5 goats and burn them, sacrifice them. Or I take those 5 goats, sacrifice them. Once I do my sacrifice, I go right back and do the same sin over again. That's how bad it was, y'all. That's how bad it was. See, that sin, that law that they had, they couldn't hold it. They couldn't keep it. Their flesh couldn't keep it. And that's why they want you to keep it. They want you to keep Torah. They want you to keep the old, because the old is what you got you where you at now. And that's what 99 trillion of people wouldn't even understand that. Where we are at today is because of the product of yesterday that was hidden, that wasn't spoke about. The history wasn't clearly seen. And that's why we are at where we at today. See, everybody think where we at because it's just so, Satan is running here and running. No. Satan was in the beginning, y'all. It's a big difference today than it was yesterday. Only thing about it is yesterday was in the dark. Today is in the light. That's the difference. Yesterday, we didn't have the Ruach in us. Today, we have them in us because we need it today. Because all that darkness is showing up in this day and time. And nobody can justify, clarify, and identify where it's coming from because nobody knows spirit and truth with the light in the right hand. Okay? So right here it says in Acts chapter 13, verse 39, and by him all that believe are justified from all things from which ye could not be justified by the law of Moses. So you wonder, what are they talking about? Why are they so eager for you all to hold on to Torah? See, what you have to do with this King James Bible, make sure you study it. But when you study it, leave it on the outside of you. Praise the mighty God. If you got a King James Bible, a lost books, found books, Torah, books taken out, books added in, keep it on the outside of you. Because it don't need to be on the inside. Greater is he that's on the inside than he that is on the outside. So if you take this here outside book and try to tame the inside, then you ain't got who is greater on the inside, because he ain't gonna tolerate it. He can't be in you if you think you finna teach him. He ain't in you. Only way you gonna know he's in you is when he teaching you from the inside what the outside is saying. And that's why I say to y'all probably never thought. This lady always says she ain't listen to them. She don't listen to these loudmouth men because they don't have spirit and truth. They don't have the light. So why should I sit out here and listen to all this darkness? And then when I listen to one, they might have some truth, but that's all they have. You see? So let us go now to Romans chapter 7. In Romans chapter 7 and verse 22 through 23. Romans chapter 7, verse 22 through 23. See what happened, y'all? They lied about the law. I want you to understand there's two laws, just like there's two books, two sets of books. The book of life and the books that's leading to the lake of hell. There's two. Everything heaven has brought down to the earth through the power of his right hand has been separated already. Okay? Darkness, those that are resting in their lives in darkness is on one side. Those that's in light is on another side. Serpent seed on one side, the spiritual seed on one side, born of the spirit on one side, the born of the flesh is on another side. You see what I'm saying? So not just with that, when you back up with the knowledge, it's on one side. You got knowledge in the flesh, but you got knowledge in the spirit. The knowledge, everything in the spirit would always be 100 power over that which you have in the flesh. And this is why they won't listen to those who are born of the spirit. What did the Bible tell us based on what the Spirit revealed to us today is that they don't have nothing in common. You see what I'm saying? So therefore, they can't come and pull up on us, and we born of the Spirit and they born of the flesh. But this is what you see in today across the board. You see, when you pull up with knowledge, it's two knowledge. A knowledge of the flesh, a knowledge of the spirit. When you pull up with wisdom, there's two wisdom, one of the flesh and one of the spirit. When you pull up with understanding, there's two understanding, one in the flesh and one in the spirit. The one in the spirit is the Ruach HaKodesh. You see what I'm saying? And then when you pull up with a teaching, you got to see, when is this the teaching of the flesh or is it the teaching of the spirit? You see what I'm saying? Everything is in twos. So what the Father was explaining to me, what he have already shown me, but I like how he stood on top of me today, on top of me again. He showed me that Deborah pulled up law. And I said, well, yeah, I know there's a law that's on this side and there's a law. He said, yeah, you're right, but I'm going to break it down in you. So you can always be able to speak it with a book or without it. And see, a lot of y'all don't understand when he said heaven and earth shall pass away. But this word, that's the real word, y'all. It's not the book. See, the book is words. But the word is he that won't pass away. Two, you got to bag everything up in the corner in twos. Once you're able to do that, oh, you on your way, baby. He's given you the ability to sail on. Because now you're seeing it and you're breaking it down in the spirit and in the natural. And you're letting the spirit get the glory that's due it. And you're not walking around here letting flesh have the victory over spirit. It can't. So here we are in Romans chapter 7, verse 22 through 23. And it reads, for I delight in the law of Yah. Wait a minute, hold up. What law is that? What is the law of Yah? What is the law of Yah? Listen to what it says, y'all. After the inner man. Now, what is the inner man? Anybody in the live chat, do you happen to know who is this that delight in the law of Yah after the inward man? The inward man. Who is this inward man? Anybody know who the inward man is? For I delight in the law of Yah after the inward man. Anybody know who the inward man? Right. Yes, our spirit. It is our spirit. That's our inner man, which 99 point trillion. Y'all probably think y'all probably don't never think of it. Y'all know people don't know nothing about that they got a spirit? They don't know nothing about that. They really don't think of it. But then going back to what he said, you're born a certain way. And most people are not born to know. You see what I'm saying? So they just who they are because it is your spirit. So he's saying that what? I delight in the law of Yah after the inner man. So what this individual is saying, the law that is spiritual in me is in my inner man. I delight that law. I like that law. So why isn't we not loving on the law that's within, but we sitting here trying to let them taint us with the law on the outer man? Come on, somebody talk to me. Why are we letting ourselves get taught and beat down with the belief of the law on the outer man? And here this is, one, there's a law for your inner man. I understand what he says when he said, and very few, Deborah, shall find therein. It makes a lot of sense to me. I use that as a form of comforter. I don't know if y'all know that or not, but I use that as a form of comforting. Yes, you're right. The law is righteous. That's And you know what? We got two righteous, one on the outside and one on the inside. You see, because the flesh think they righteous. They don't understand. The only one righteous is he that's in thee. That's the law. See, and that's what we've been talking about. The law of righteousness. That's what I've been saying. So that is the law. That's what I'm saying. So we didn't forgotten. We have forsaken that law. And we just believe the law that's on the outer man because that's the one keep trying to tame you to do the things according to your outer man to make you in there with the church, with the Hebrew Israelite, or you following your nation, you being obedient. No. Do you understand why I say that you're right? Righteousness is of the law. But did you notice that? And the law of sin. Oh, yeah, we do have a law of sin. Exactly. They two different ones. Why haven't they been teaching the people? Because the people don't want to be taught. That's why he said they perish. He don't have no problem calling them my people. The Most High Yah don't have no problem saying, okay, y'all, my people, they perish. How you like me now? Go back and read. I throw down. I don't play. But we don't see him like that. We think, oh, he's so loving, he's so caring, and we never knew him as give and gave. Because when you know what all he has given you and what all he gave you, you should be wanting to do something different with yourself toward him. So here in Romans chapter 7, verse 22, it says, for I delight in the law of Yah after the inner man. I try to explain to you, when you dig into the commandments and you dig into anything that has to do with anything that's fall under righteous, y'all gonna uphold it all in you. Because why is he gonna be greater in you, but then you can't keep the commandments? I want y'all to think of that. Come on, somebody think. How can he be so greater in you, but yet you can't keep the commandments? How could he be so greater in you and they want you to follow their law? They don't understand there's a law already in you. You see how we've been deceived and manipulated to believe that it's all that's on the outer man and not what's embedded on the inner man. But I thank the Father for plant everything from the inner man and locking it all in heaven, bringing it to the earth from the inner. I really do, y'all, because I'm telling you something. Now I want to go to Psalms. And in Psalms, And in Psalms chapter 1 and verse 2, and in Psalms through 5, and in Psalms chapter 1 and verse 2, what is going on here? The reason why I'm saying that is because I know I wrote it down, but I want to get in the book of Psalms, chapter 1, verse 2 through 5. Okay, verse 2 through 5. But he is in the law of Yah, and in his law do it not he mediate day and night. Do he mediate day and night. See, this is another thing. Listen to what this says. And in his law do he mediate day and night. This is the law of Yah. Isn't that beautiful? This law that Yah has invested in us. Mediate day and night. That's totally different than the law on the outside. See how? So what I'm trying to say to y'all, when they are battling you all about the law of Moses and the law on the outside, this is what I have said. And I mean, I think it's been probably 4 years now. I have said to you all, you got to consider if he is greater in thee than he is in the world. What makes them think that you're going to keep the law the way they said the law has to be kept? Everything that they say on the outside weighs heavier than he that is on the inside. How is he going to trust you to hold the law and to keep the law if his spiritual law in you is not in you? You can't, y'all. If the spiritual law is not in you, then you can't keep the law itself. You see what I'm saying? It's impossible. It's impossible to keep the law of Yah without him being the law itself in you. And that's another sad thing, because here we are in the year 2024, and I think what I just said is very powerful. We're so busy hearing the voices in the ears and the mouths of flesh, and we have forsaken the voice, the quiet voice, and the mouth within us. They say, I will come and comfort you. I will come and teach you all things. I will show you things to come. I will reveal things to you. This is this one that's in us, this greater, constantly telling us what all he's going to be in us. And we trust in everything on the out of us to tell us about he that's so great in us. Don't let nobody tell you about he that is greater in you than he that is in the world, because they can't. He's too great. Too much of him that's in you to be told. And nothing on the outside can tame you. It has to come from the inside out. Let's say if you had an addiction. Have you ever wondered? There are people who go to AA and leave drugs alone for 10, 15 years and stop porno for 5 years and all these diets and everything. And guess what? Fall right back into it. Why? Many of them. And when they leave one addiction and they fall away from one, they fall into another. Why? Because you're trying to battle your flesh and the addiction of your flesh. But if you had Yah in you, guess what? He'll battle it for you from the inside out, and it'll never return. Why? Because it knows he's inside. That's why. It ain't gonna bother you no more, because he's gonna say, I ain't coming over there. He got the greater one in him. She got the greater one in there. I ain't coming up on that. Look how Satan told him, I ain't finna mess with Job. You think I don't know who Job is? And I know you got a hedge around Job. I ain't finna mess with Job. Nope, you can let me tell me I can get Job all you want. Stop telling me I can have Job. Stop trying to get me to get Job. I ain't finna bother Job until you put that right hand on. And he all mad. Father, touch Job and say he's yours. See, even the devil knows. You can't come up on what belongs to Yah. But people are fearing all this on the outside and don't have the fear of the Spirit on the inside to know that he got me. Okay? So when you get into Psalms chapter 1 and verse 2 through 5, but he delight is in the law of Yah, and in his law do he mediate day and night. Beautiful. I tell y'all all the time. Oh, he talked to me in the water. He talked to me when I'm cleaning. He talked to me in my sleep. He wake me up in the midnight hour. Early morning, he talking. This is exactly what is actually happening. Here go David in Psalms. See, a lot of people hear you talking, and that's all it is. You're going one ear and out the next. But you're really giving them some insight of this creator that's all that great one, that excellent one, that perfect one that created everything. You're giving them some insight, telling you who talks to somebody in the water. Who talks to somebody when they in the car all the time? You ever thought, well, Deborah, why is he talking to you so much? Think, y'all, think. See, nobody never come to that understanding or that realm that says, wait a minute, something going on here. No, they don't come there because they so busy serving the things on the outside. They tell them, oh, this is it, this is it, this is it. And then they fail to realize this person would have to have somebody in her. He waking her up all the time of night. Teaching her like that, she got to be somebody, but it don't click. It don't click. See, what y'all don't understand is what's in your inner man, that great one, that excellent one, that creator. And that's why I cannot afford to give glory and honor to all these people and make them something on the outside when I know he's the greater on the inside of me and many others. So why am I giving everybody else the glory and the honor? And he's the great one. You crazy? You crazy? So in Psalms chapter 1, verse 3, it says, "It shall be like a tree planted by the river of water that bring forth his fruit in his leaves also shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper." Verse 4, "The ungodly are not so, but are like a shift which the wind driven away. Therefore," verse 5, "therefore the ungodly shall not stand in the judgment, nor sinner in the congregation of the righteous." See that? And let me go on to 6. "For Yah knoweth the way of the righteous, but the way of the ungodly shall perish." He know the way of the ungodly too. They're gonna perish. That's the way he know. All right. So and the way of the right and the way of the of his is righteous. And he letting you know there's a big difference between the two. That's why when you go to these pages and you see somebody with a 300,000 subscribers and all these likes and getting supported every way, shape, and form, and been on here 20 years, baby, they ain't going in no direction. But then when you see Sister Deborah with 1K, this is where he was talking about the narrow. It's staying in everything, y'all. Y'all didn't know that, did you? See, that narrow gate is not just on YouTube, y'all. It's on Facebook. It's everywhere you go. It's when you're at your workplace. It's when you're in the mall, when you're driving on the streets, when you're walking. The narrow gate is present, you guys. And it's always going to be the way. Never is it the broad gate. Say, for instance, we're going to a game. And they got 7 lines. Sister Deborah pull up, I'll go to the last line. And in my mind, I'm going to show you how he showed me in the natural, how it really is in the spirit. And my kids will tell you, my mama then showed us this many a time. Why is this lane short, even when driving? Why are everybody going to the long line? And the Father had taught me as a teenager, always focus on the shortest line. Because that's the right way. And I was like, all my life, that's what I did. Because see, a lot of people said, let's go here. Everybody going this way. We know this the way. Don't do that, y'all. Just because these people got all these subscribers, that's the way to the broad gate. It's not the way to the narrow. Because he already let you know, very few shall find their end. You see, everybody thinking because they know, a lot of people know that they're thinking they know, they don't know. They think they know the Father enough to say, that, okay, we all going to the kingdom. Okay, you going. You going there. Yeah, you going. Everybody's going there to be taken somewhere else. Yeah. How about that? How about that? So when I also see this here, I also see in Psalms 19 and verse 7. Let's go to Psalms 19 and verse 7. Let's see what that is saying here. And then I'm going to hear you all as well. Psalms 19 and verse 7. What is it saying here? The law of Yah is perfect. You see what I'm saying, y'all? The law of Yah is perfect. Who do we know perfect, Yah? Come on now, y'all. Who do we know that's perfect down here? Who do we know that's perfect? The Messiah, he was the only one. But who do we know now? Or who do we get? Who else was perfect? Abraham wasn't perfect. David wasn't perfect. Solomon wasn't perfect. Isaac and Jacob weren't perfect. No, they weren't. So here it says in Psalms 19 and verse 7, the law of Yah is perfect, converting the spirit. That's how beautiful it is. The testimony of Yah is true, making the wise simple. You see? Converting the spirit, making your spirit perfect as he is perfect. You know how they say ain't no man perfect? You're right. We're not perfect in the flesh, but in that spirit you would have to be, because you got the perfect one in you. Does that make any sense? And we never look at it like that. We never look at the fact that, okay, if he is perfect and he in me, then I am perfect. Yes, yes, yes. But you ain't gonna be perfect on the outside in this flesh, but in your spirit, you're gonna be perfect. And that's how he's gonna see you. So he's not gonna see you the way everybody say that you are, because you ain't got your you wearing pants, or you ain't got your fringes on. You so stupid stuff. So now you ain't perfect. That's your flesh, baby. He done told us over and over and over he has no connection to our flesh, but we insist on making our outer man greater than our inner man, and don't even understand ain't nothing on the outer out of us can outweigh what's greater on the inner inside of us when we have the root creator. Okay. Psalms 19 and 142. Psalms 119. Psalms 119 verse 142. Psalms 119, verse 142. And it reads, thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is truth. You see what I'm saying, y'all? He's not talking about this trash called law in the flesh. Listen to what it's saying. Psalms 119, verse 142. Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is truth. Do y'all understand that? This is a law unlike the law that was back in the old, that they never could hold up, because the flesh, it was put there to in a sense to kind of guide them to the true law come steps on the scene. It was just a, how would I say, a shadow of what's to come. But they never, and I'm going to say this here, you never accepted the one when he came. So that old law still reign in you, because you never embraced the law of the spirit. You still hanging on the law of the flesh. That's the problem. This is the problem. Now it makes sense what I was saying yesterday. All these different denominations, these different beliefs coming from one same Bible, because they believe this Bible is the word, not knowing that the word is Yah. And the word was with Yah. And the word is Yah. It was with him from the beginning. This Bible was not. You get what I'm saying? So people can't seem to grip that not only the law, there's two. One for the flesh and one for the spirit. It's the same way I try to tell y'all about the Bible and all these lost and found books. These are words. Yah is the word. He said, heaven and earth shall pass away. Don't that mean these books? Yes. But the word in which he is shall remain. Okay? Because it was here before this book. Okay? That's just that. To me, it's like what he said, denying the power therein. Deborah, they're going to deny from the beginning to the end. They don't even understand Genesis 1 and 2, Deborah, where the power showed up and showed out. They missed it all. They're over here telling you what Moses' law. What about my law? Oh, when did Moses outride righteousness, Deborah? When did Moses outride faith? When did Moses outride the fear, the spiritual fear, the spiritual faith, the spiritual truth? When did Moses outride that? Moses was of the flesh, meaning he had Yah upon him, but in him was not the spirit of the Ruach HaKodesh. So Moses followed the flesh, being led by the spirit of Yah. That was the difference. Okay. Now here we are in Psalms 119 and verse 42. Here it says, thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness. That's infinity, meaning it existed and to always and never, always eternal. And thy law is the truth. How can we see that there's two laws on the earth? A law of the flesh and a law of the spirit. Which law are you? And it's going to ask you that if we ever get to that verse, because it's the truth, y'all. That's something that's no different than the serpent seed and the spiritual seed. He that is born of the spirit and he that's born of the flesh. He that's born of the light and he that are born of the dark. It's no different, y'all. He backed everything in two. So whenever you get in a situation where you're reading, how you get victory is when the Ruach tell you to back it up in two. When he tell you to back it up in two, he back that up in two, then you understand it. It'll make sense. Because we battle with everything thinking we understand it in just a straight one way. No. Yah created things in the heavens by twos. That's why he had two books. One for the book of life and one for the books to the lake of hell. He backed everything into two. You want me to tell y'all something that a lot of people, 99 point trillion, would never know? I said, oh, wait a minute now, Father Yah. This is me being silly. I said, Father Yah, wait a minute. You bagged that son into two, didn't you? He said, yeah, I did. You know I did. We had the son of man and we had the son of Yah. That's what they don't know today. And this is why they're going to perish. Because they denied the power. They didn't understand that the son of Yah was coming with the power. And the son of man was coming with the blood sacrifice. They didn't know the two. One was dying for the flesh. And the other one was come to pull the one that died for the flesh back up. With all victory in the power of the right hand. The son of Yah pulled up the son of man from the grave, y'all. Y'all missed it. You missed it. When the son of Yah got to the point where when the son of man got to the point where the flesh was getting kind of heavy, he said, take away this bitter cup, son of man, son of Yah. Son of Yah said, no, wait a minute, hold up. What you say? Not my will, thy will. See, the son of Yah, the son of man, knew that the son of Yah was with him to complete the mission of the Father. So one time, and this was about a couple of years ago, I said, well, okay, you taught me what took place before the foundation of the world. I said, well, wait a minute, hold up. Look like I see two lambs. He said, you see it, don't you? I said, yeah, I see them two lambs, Father. I said, yeah, one is the son of Yah and one is the son of man. He said, yep, that's it. Because one lamb went down as the blood sacrifice. And the other lamb came up with the power. And how did he do it? He brought the other lamb up, which was the son of man. And the other lamb is the book that everybody's written in. See, Yeshua can't be the lamb, the Lamb Book of Life. You know how you hear about the Lamb Book of Life? Yeshua can't be that, y'all. Yeshua was born of the flesh. So he can't be the Lamb Book of Life. You get what I'm saying? So who is the lamb? Gabby, you gonna get yourself in trouble. Y'all gonna get you. You gonna get in trouble. I'm gonna get in trouble. You gonna get yourself in some trouble. Okay, yeah, there's two lambs. One for a blood sacrifice and one for the spiritual sacrifice. Okay, the one for the blood sacrifice was Yeshua, the Son of Man, born of the what? The flesh. He died like flesh. He went down like flesh. Who had to bring him up? The other lamb, the capital L-A-M-B. You see? And the lowercase lamb was Yeshua, the Son of Man. He went in the ground, the grave. And the power, which is Hamashiach, Christ, the world called, was the Son of Yah. He went to sit with him for 3 days so he can bring him right back up. So the mission of the lamb was two. It was the mission of the angel that were made lower than the other angel to complete the mission of the blood sacrifice, the Son of Man. But he couldn't send him down by himself, y'all. Couldn't send him down by himself. So he said, hey, Deborah, tell him my power. It's going to be my only begotten one, but I'm going to send it down and I'm going to call it the Son of Yah. And he sent him down with him to complete the mission. That's why you end up in the Lamb Book of Life. That lamb was Christ, the power, the Son of Yah. Yeshua was the blood sacrifice of the flesh. But the lamb that you are written in his book is the power of Yah, the Son of Yah. See, Yeshua ain't got no book. Yeshua ain't got no book. Go up in Revelation. Who can open up the book? Who can open up the book? Wait. But if Yeshua is the lamb, why can't he open up the book? Yeshua ain't the lamb, y'all. The Son of Yah is the lamb. But the Lion of Judah took the book out of the right hand and opened up the book. Why couldn't Yeshua open that book? Because Yeshua was not the lamb that created all things. He wasn't Yah himself. He was the angel that was made lower as the sacrifice for the flesh of all men. But the Son of Yah. And it's just kind of sad because it's like, Deborah, all this goes on and nobody know nothing about it. But didn't he tell us in the end days, knowledge going to increase? That knowledge was spiritual, y'all. It wasn't natural. That means you can't go up in these books and find this type of knowledge. You can't do it. You got to get the spirit first. And then the spirit takes you to where you can find it and rest therein. But he want to give you, when he teaches, he want to teach you from the inside. He don't want you thinking that, oh, you can find all your answers in this book. And then you'll come to me and say, well, this says this, and you stay on that outside. Or either you come on in and let me teach you from this way out, from the in out, not the out in. He don't run like the Father don't run like that. Now he'll tell you this. Now somebody will plant a seed where it's already waiting for me. But other than that, can't nobody be greater than who I am. You see? And when we have put all these platforms and all these people and everything else above y'all, that's out of order. But we don't see no problem with it. We think all that stuff is okay. So now we're going to go. I liked it that. Oh, I liked it. Psalms 119 and verse 142. That's nice. Y'all need to highlight that because it says, thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness in an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is truth. That's nice. That's beautiful. I think I said that right. Let me see what that 42. Yeah. everlasting righteousness. See, that's what y'all messed up at, because y'all didn't know that that's the spiritual law. That's one of y'all's spiritual law. And you can't get to the spiritual law if you meditating on the flesh law. See, that's what the flesh law come to do. Tie you up in Torah in the ways of the old so you can't be set free. That you can't see the liberty in which Yah has set you in. He has pardoned your sin and set you free to liberty, and you still in captivity to your flesh and to your spirit, calling yourself free. Psalms 19 and verse 9. In Psalms 19, it says, Psalms 19 says, the fear of Yah is clean, enduring forever. See, there go that fear. I try to explain to you all there's two fears. There's a fear of the flesh and there's a fear of the spirit. Somebody can walk up on you and scare you. Somebody can pull a gun on you and scare you for a few hours. That's that fear on the outside. But Yah is saying to you in Psalms 19 and verse 9, he said, the fear of Yah is clean, enduring forever. The judgment of Yah are true and righteous altogether. He's letting you know all these here fruit. You see all my laws, y'all? You see all my brands Sister Deborah was teaching y'all years ago? Them brands, them 4 brands. See, this is how powerful they are. They are connected to the law, y'all. And we just imagine all of this that we missed throughout life. And we be running, chasing the law of the flesh of man, the law of Moses, the law of Torah, the law of everything that couldn't get the law when the law was put before them. Even to today. Can't nobody keep no law outside of the law of Yah. And that's the law that says, I'll come and abide in you. And I teach you my law from the inside out. A way that you will never be hold blameless for another law. That's what he said. Look up that in the Bible and you hear where it says, I'm going to hold you blameless. That's why. Because he's so invested in you from the inside. He said, I don't care what you do. I'm going to hold you blameless. Because I put you in my Lamb book of life already, bro. You in there. But see, that people can't see that. Does this mean sin and go out and do wicked evil? No. Because if he's greater in you, you ain't going to be going out there doing stuff like that. And this is why I know for a fact what 100 times 1 trillion, this is what I know. That gate is as narrow as he said it is. Because that's what happens to me. When I leave and I go out, they ain't getting this far. This stuff is too deep. You know what I'm saying? I know it. And that's why he pulled up the brick wall back to my life. To show you that, see, you thought I was just talking about your husband. I was telling you, this is a journey you on. That's why you was running the race. And you kept running into the brick wall. I was just telling you, your whole life gonna be like that, because you running in the lane that I created for you, and these brick walls are just things here that's standing in the way. They're gonna be there when you pass them. So what are you doing? Stop running into it. I said, Father, I thought that was for a season when you gave it. He said, no, I want you to take that the rest of your life, all the way to the grave. That's why I gave you the mission of a lane to run in.